This week in the Worldwide Weird, we're going to kick things off with a couple of McDonald's stories because this week McDonald's is getting weird and I'm loving it. McDonald's worker fired for refusing to serve paramedics. Quote, "We don't serve your kind here."
I'm assuming, okay, and this is, you will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm assuming this is someone who is probably anti-police, anti-paramedic, just anti-everything, one of these people, for whatever reason.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. I don't know if they misidentified them as police originally because that was the impression that the paramedic got. They were like, whoa, we're not cops. Don't worry about it. We're good. We're not cops. And they were like, no, we don't serve badges. So this is the craziest kind of discrimination. Like, look, I will admit to my bias that I don't think that cops are necessarily all great. I mean, I will cop to that. I don't want to sit here and make the bold or the broad statement that all cops are pieces of crap because I know that's not true, but there is a stigma and I tend to almost have like a bias or a prejudice against cops. That said, paramedics and firemen, what have they ever done except fucking help people? I just can't wrap my head around why you would be anti people that save lives.
I'll take it even one step farther. If they're being robbed, they're going to call. If someone goes in that McDonald's with a gun, you don't think they're going to call cops?
Oh, yeah. They're not anti-badge anymore.
Yeah, they're not a badge. And the vast majority of cops are good. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a couple of bad ones who do some shitty things. Yep. And those people should be prosecuted and should be held. Absolutely. But I don't think they're indicative of the whole. But even to take that farther, paramedics have never killed. I mean, they've probably killed one by mistake, like by not saving them.
Yes,
it's different than killing them, you know. But they've never killed anyone. They've never, as far as I know, you're not reading any headlines about, you know, paramedic stabs guy in the face while he's bleeding.
Right,
like nothing like that happens.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because even like hippies, you know, being against war and maybe not treating veterans or soldiers, military people with respect. Okay, there's an ideology behind it. You think that war is bad, fine, you're expressing yourself, and you think these people are tools to facilitate this thing that you're against. Again, where is the criticism against what it is that paramedics are doing? It's so crazy, and I just can't imagine being in that job and going into an establishment like McDonald's and them saying, "We don't serve your kind here."
I just couldn't imagine like any of those professions, firemen, even police, you know what I mean? I know there's this huge stigma about it, but you know, first of all, people talk that usually the same people who are anti all that are very anti-privilege. There is no bigger privilege than having the privilege to be anti-police because you've never needed them in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or anti-paramedic. Like that is the biggest. If you're privileged enough to live in a part of town where you've never need the cops because no one's been murdered near you, your house hasn't been robbed, that's the biggest form of privilege you can ever walk around with. Yeah. And to take that a step further into fucking paramedics, you ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? You're out there saving lives. You just want a fucking cheeseburger.
Fucking McDonald's. Where do they get off? I mean, I think obviously the people that made that comment have been fired. This was in Florida. Okay, so Sunstar paramedic Anthony Quinn said the fast food worker in Madera Beach, Florida, refused to serve him and his colleagues after telling both of them, "We don't serve your kind here." He's quotes on Facebook, "I walk into McDonald's just to use the bathroom and an employee goes, 'We don't accept officers in here.' I tell her I'm not an officer. She then says, 'Anyone with a badge.' Then says it to my partner as she walks in to order food. She says, 'We don't serve your kind here.' Quinn said, 'Just how insane are you people?' And then obviously the owners apologized to the paramedics for the employees' actions and said they've been fired. Their quote is, 'We are aware of the unfortunate incident that took place at one of our restaurants last night. We, like you, are upset and disappointed and took immediate action. The employee has been terminated. What occurred does not reflect the value of our brand or franchise or the love and admiration we demonstrated consistently for our friends in law enforcement and first responders. We have reached out to offer our sincerest apologies." I mean, I don't think anybody's misreading this as McDonald's is anti fucking badges, right?
No, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there because they're stupid who are reading it that way, who are like, I'm going to boycott McDonald's. Which you're not going to hurt McDonald's. They have enough people coming to it. But it sounds like a couple of stupid, low education employees who weren't the most intelligent, who are extreme, and trying to make a statement because everyone's trying to make a statement about everything now, and we're not even informed enough to make the statement that they were trying to make.
And essentially you've come out and become the very thing that you're supposedly like, if the point is anti-discrimination or
yes.
like cops are being unfair to people, then what are you doing,
Well, and then on top of that, the language they used was "your kind."
Yeah, heavy dose of irony there.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
It's completely lost on them.
So that's not all, though. That's not all.
Man.
This has been a wild week for McDonald's. A police officer claimed McDonald's workers bit into his McChicken. Did you hear about this?
So what happened?
This was big news. Okay, so there's a police officer who he went into work one morning, but before he had to stop and get food for lunch. So like you do, he stopped at McDonald's to buy lunch, to take it into the office, to put it in the refrigerator, to heat it up for lunch. First of all, dude, you're already fucking up. You can't keep McDonald's. That is a rookie fucking move.
Have you ever microwaved McDonald's fries?
It's disgusting, dude.
Oh, it's disgusting.
There's
you gotta
nothing.
Eat McDonald's fresh.
No, yes. After 10 minutes, it's fucking donezo.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even food anymore. Like, whatever edible properties it had, they go away, like, really fast.
I would agree with that. Microwave a McDonald's cheeseburger, it's the worst thing ever on the entire planet.
Oh, man. So, the officer gets ready for his lunch break. He goes, he unbags his sandwich, unwraps it, and he sees there's this huge bite taken out of the fucking chicken sandwich. So, like you would do, he goes and he vents about it on social media, if I'm not mistaken. This is in Indianapolis, by the way. So he posts on social media, or no, he told the news station, even further than that. He says, I know I didn't eat it. No one else was around. You know what? I'm going to the McDonald's to see if they can get that taken care of. So basically, cops have to worry about this. Sometimes people mess with cops' food, and that's messed up. Like I said, any bias, any prejudice I do have, I acknowledge most cops are great. They're just out there doing their job. It's not like all cops are bad guys or just deserve to have their food freaking tampered with. So this news starts to spread, and other like Facebook groups and organizations that are like, affiliated with police and support groups and things like this come out and they're like, why do police officers constantly get targeted for this kind of harassment? Why can't we even just get our food? If anything, we should get free food at these establishments. We shouldn't have to worry about people messing with our stuff. Anyways, this goes on. It starts picking up steam. Turns out the dude took a bite out of his own sandwich and fucking forgot about it. He pulled a Jeremy Branch and he bit his burger, put it up, totally forgot the shit happened, and then went and started blaming McDonald's for it.
Do you think he did that, or do you think because the new trend now of social media is faking crimes, faking like hate crimes,
yeah,
you see it all over on all sides of the aisle. Do you think he really took a bite out of it and then forgot, or you think he did it and then shit blew up and he was like, oh man, maybe I should walk this back a little bit?
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point. I didn't even think about it. Like, it got ahead of him. He didn't realize how big of a thing it was going to be. When they launched the actual official investigation, he didn't want to be standing there with the smoking gun.
Well, it's like the lady, I'm sure you heard of this, the politician at the Walmart who said that the guy told her to go back to her country.
No.
Okay, so this lady, I forget where she's from. She's a Democrat from like somewhere. She's either like a representative or something. I don't remember. She's at a Walmart. And she's like, this guy, the cashier, this white man, starts yelling at me to go back to because she goes to a line where it's like a 15 or less line or something like that. And she has way more. And he's like, well, this is the 15 or less. And then apparently, according to her, she's like, he starts yelling at me to go home and saying all these racist things. He comes on and he's like, no, it didn't happen. And we have cameras everywhere, so we can show you. you know? And then witnesses came out and were like, not only did it not happen, he's Puerto Rican or something like that. He's Puerto Rican or something. She was actually yelling at him to go back to his country.
Wow.
But she did the same thing, took to social media, and then it blew up. And then what happens when it blows up? The truth comes out. And then she was like, well, he didn't say that per se, and started trying to slowly walk it back. Because this is the new trend. For social media clout, pretend you've been a victim of some sort of harassment.
How weird is that? It's some victim shit, like just trying to...
You have to be insane to want to be a victim of something like that.
How weird. Yeah, this story I think is so... It's funny because it's indicative to, like, if you live your life with a certain set of expectations, or you feel that you're being viewed a certain way, it's going to give you a chip on your shoulder. Like, we've talked about it in terms of if you're overweight, getting an Atkins bar, to like if you're a police officer, you assume that some of these punk ass pot smoking kids are spitting in your burger or fucking wiping their butt with your bun, or you know what I mean? Like, and in that situation, you've got to take it upon yourself to either find a McDonald's that you trust, where you like go to the same one because you know Jack in the back ain't gonna fuck with your shit, or you don't go to McDonald's. You just fucking bring your own lunch or whatever. But I mean, if I were a police officer, I would definitely be weary about kids fucking with my shit. Would you?
Nah, I really wouldn't. The odds of it actually happening, just kind of like the odds of you running into a cop who's going to actually do something horrible, is slim to none. The odds of you running into an employee who's not just there to work are pretty slim. You know, it could happen to you, but I don't live my life paranoid about the 1%. You know, it's a waste of energy.
So I have many years of service industry experience, working from, you know, front of the house jobs as a server is where I spent most of my time in restaurants. But I managed a Subway for several years. I've worked in kitchens as well. And I say all that to say, of all of the years that I've worked in probably over a dozen different restaurants, maybe 10 different restaurants, so a lot anyways. Yeah. And more times than not, nobody messed with food. But I can say I saw it at every one of those places at least once.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And but I'm sure it wasn't just directed at cops. I mean, it was directed at asshole people, random people, because, well, people are terrible. So that happens from time to time.
And more often than not, it would probably be less out of malicious intent and more out of like, oop, I just fucked up and I'm going to take the easy route to correct this. You know what I mean?
And I've worked in, I've only worked in fast food, I think, twice. And I saw it happen one time for me personally. And it was because someone was a complete asshole, you know, and was screaming. And they're like, fuck them.
I don't think the movie Waiting helped. I think, if anything, that shit only encouraged people to start doing that shit after they saw the movie.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
I remember it becoming so much worse after fucking Waiting, because they do the most terrible shit in that movie.
Yeah, I would say that, you know, the culture influences entertainment influences culture. I'm sure it went back up.
Well, all right. You'd think we were done. But more McDonald's had a farm. You got to look this up. McDonald's cups inadvertently feature sexual imagery. Mocking ensues. Okay. So where a lot of stories, you hear the headline and you say, oh, that's got to be Florida. You hear McDonald's cup inadvertently features sexual imagery and you think, oh, that's Japan. That's got to be Japan. And sure enough, in Japan, McDonald's has released a new series of cups for its McFizz sodas, which look delicious, I want to say, just right off the bat. They're like colorful and nice. I want one right now today. I don't know if I have to go to Japan. If that's the case, I probably won't get one. But the cups are supposed to show a young woman and a young man on each side. When you finish the drink, it looks like they're smooching on the lips, but people have found something else entirely.
I'm trying to get this to pull up.
I should send you the link to what I'm looking at.
Is it the Kotaku article?
It's yes. Okay, you are looking at it.
Yeah, it's just taking forever to load for whatever reason. Yeah.
So as you scroll down just like maybe a third of the way, you start to see the post on social media.
Yeah, I'm clicking to go to it for whatever reason. Didn't love the post. I'm actually clicking to go on the tweet. Okay, I see that, but I don't see it drained. What the heck? There it goes.
So you've got the one on the top, and it shows the guy on one side and the girl on the other.
I see the one where it's from behind.
Yeah.
The doggy style thing.
Yeah. Turns out it goes both ways. Like, the guy doesn't have to be in front of the girl.
That's pretty funny.
It's pretty ridiculous, and I have to think they had to know.
I could, but I could see this also being just a gross oversight, where they're like, holy crap. I always think, idiocy explains a lot of things a lot of times more than malice does or intent.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with you there.
That's pretty
the picture
funny,
above it, like with the red stuff in the bottom, it creates like a gross imagery of like a girl on her moon. Wow, that was a really hippie way to say on her period.
On her moon? No, let's dissect. Let's unpack this. On her moon?
Yeah, my bad.
Who's ever said that in their entire life? Is that a thing?
Yeah. You never heard that before?
No, I've never heard on her moon. I'm totally using that now. Next time, just because of being an extra asshole, if Joey's just being grumpy, I'm going to be like, are you on your moon? That's what I'm going to say.
That's so funny. I don't know if people actually say it.
Oh, this is better than the story itself.
Oh, shit.
The mic.
The moon cycle and the menstrual cycle. Cycle harmony. Hold up. I'm telling you, it's got to be some new age hippie shit. And I don't know where I got it from. I'm embarrassed now. Similar to the moon cycle, a woman's menstrual cycle changes from the menstruation of new growth to the ovulation of full power and blossom to the premenstrual phase of harvest and degeneration back to the menstruation of renewal again. So yeah, it's some hippie shit.
Yeah.
All right.
The moon. I love it.
It's like ladies turning into werewolves.
Yeah. You're on your moon.
I want the drinks though. But yeah, okay, so it looks like period blood. That's the more crass way of saying it. And then there's like a lemonade with the dude in it, and the immediate association is urine, right?
I didn't get either of those from that. I just saw lemonade.
All right, man. You can fucking hang me out to dry. It's fine. It's fine. My contributions to this story have been great. And I don't know, unless you got anything else to say about that, I guess we'll just...
No, I think the on the moon stole the conversation.
All right,
well... the moon about that conversation. There. That was my cheesy contribution.
Well, and before we wrap this thing up, this story transitions us nicely from one segment into the next. Florida man pulls a gun on a woman who refused to try his vape pen at a McDonald's parking lot. Boom.
McDonald's is the Walmart of fast food, isn't it?
It's crazy. This week they have just been on a roll, man. And there was one about a 10-year-old boy that that carjacked his mom's car to go down and get burgers and got in a car accident and was fine. That didn't even make it onto the fucking news because I didn't think it was weird enough. Worthy. No. No. St. Augustine resident Kyle McGill Walker was arrested by St. Johns County Sheriff's Office on Friday after he allegedly pulled a gun out on a woman at McDonald's, according to CBS 47. According to the report, the victim said she was approached by Walker when he asked her if she wanted to take a hit from his vape pen. When she refused, he said, "Are you serious, bro?" and flashed a gun to her.
What the fuck?
And began saying, "What's up now? What's up now?" Wow. I don't even know how something escalates like that.
If only that McDonald's had been serving a bunch of police and they'd been around.
I mean, what? Like, no, dude, nobody wants to hit your vape pen. Calm the fuck down.
I'm assuming, and this is me always filling in the blanks of like, how did this get to this point? I'm assuming for whatever, he found this girl attractive, and that is his in. It's like, you want to try my vape, bro? That was his in. And then she shot him down, and he couldn't handle the rejection, and he freaked the fuck out.
No, I'm digging your psychological profile. I sign off on that. I bet you're exactly right. Well, he was probably fucked up too, right?
Oh, yeah, probably. He was fucked up going to McDonald's to get some food.
And I don't understand where he went wrong. I mean, normally strangers, if you can bet one thing, it's that a stranger wants to hit your vape pen. Like,
I think that's probably the best pickup line ever.
Yeah.
You know?
And I like, are you serious, bro? Like, what? Who are you even talking to?
That's the equivalent of literally walking up to a stranger and be like, "You want to try my soda?" Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to try your soda, you weirdo.
Yo, girl, this juicy fruit tastes good.
Yeah.
You want this?
You want my juice box?
Oh shit. That's scary though. Like that's scary. And that, like you said, you don't live your life according to the 1% of assholes out there, but like this is one of those situations where like earpods would come in handy. You can just shut out the rest of the world and people can't address you, but then I guess you're like compromising your spatial awareness though too.
No, literally I just ignore people. Like when people walk up to me and be like, "Hey, can I have money?" I pretend they don't exist. That's what I do.
Do you really?
Like, yeah. If you just pretend they don't exist, they'll just not bother you. Or like crazy people on the street, they'll be like, "Hey," and you just keep walking and they don't say anything. But if you engage with them, you can get into some trouble. I've gotten into trouble by trying to be nice to crazy people.
Yeah, man. I'm really bad about that. Like, I'm really bad about like acknowledging everybody like walking down the street. And normally my thing with like homeless people, it's really easy nowadays to just be like, "Man, I don't carry cash.
Yes.
Hope you have a good day though." You know what I mean? Like I've never, but then there's always those people that want more than just the casual interaction that are going to fucking follow you or say, like you said, getting in trouble by acknowledging somebody. Like if you would have never made eye contact with them, they would have never fucking singled you out.
Yep.
And a lot of people do say that, like, you know, they wear headphones even if they're not listening to anything to make them seem less approachable, you know?
That makes perfect sense. I know I used to be the type who so I used to go to Seattle all the time, huge homeless population. Used to always give money. I remember one time I had this nice it was after I lost all the weight, this nice leather jacket. It was just too big and it's raining out and it's cold. And I walk into another store to buy a jacket. I'm like, this is just uncomfortable. And there was this guy, he was a crazy guy who was always on the corner of like First and Pike, always there. And he had a shirt that said, "I need a fat bitch." Always like written on it, a homeless man. And he would scream it at people. You know, obviously mental issues. And so he and it's freezing out. So I'm like, "Yo, this dude's in a t-shirt that's wet that says 'I need a fat bitch,' a permanent marker on it. Like this dude needs, like he's gonna die out here." So I buy a new jacket for me and I go give it to him. And he was really nice. He really was. He wasn't aggressive, you know. And he puts on the jacket and is like, "Thank you, brother. Thank you." So excited. And then he takes it off and throws it on the ground and stands there in the soaking wet rain afterwards.
Wow.
And then I see him on the way back. And so I'm literally coming back and I go, "Hey man," he's still not wearing the jacket. It's on the floor next to him. I go, "Hey man," you know, trying to be nice. And then because he's a crazy person and he sees me and he remembers that we had an interaction, starts screaming at me, you know?
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, these are people," and not even talking shit. These are people with actual mental issues.
Yeah.